I know. I thought I'd come back and find this guy, and he's all by himself on the shelf. I swear to God, there was actually one more guy sitting here, but I don't see him anywhere else. So, yeah. He's the very last one. So, alright. You know, I've been kind of sleeping on this guy, but look at this. We found ourselves a Transformer knockoff here. So, J Dominant, I think is his name? The Jungle Tank? Yeah, you're gonna come back home with me. Hello everyone, it's Genghis-Khan, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm the fabulous leader of the Decepti-KHAN army. And today, normally I do a save point. So like my save points are kind of like my journal entries. But today I decided I'm going to do something a little bit different. I mean, I'll still be reviewing something today, so that's going to be what this video is going to be about. But instead of like documenting like my YouTube journey, I want to kind of at least document what's been kind of going on with my collecting journey so far. And for today's review, in terms of collecting things, I found this guy. So you might be wondering what's so special about this guy. Well, this might be kind of a shocker to some people, but I've never been to Five Below before, and I don't remember whose video I was watching. I remember coming across someone's YouTube video where they found these guys at Five Below, and I was very curious about them. And of course, when I went onto the website, it's not very promising that they're all sold out. Like, they don't have any like to ship or pick up in the store. And there's very few Five Belows where I live at. So I was a little bit kind of nervous of like if I was going to be able to find this guy. But funny enough, the other day, I actually happened to find one at one of the Five Belows that's actually around by the shopping mall. And I basically went there on a rainy day. I don't know why I decided that I would walk there on a rainy day, but I had my own little adventure on that day. And I actually happened to find him still sitting on the shelf. I mean, obviously he definitely looks like a Transformer, but I have no idea who he's supposed to be a knockoff of. But yeah, I'm really excited. I can't believe we're actually going to be reviewing a Transformer knockoff from Five Below. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take him out of the box and see what he's all about, all right? So let's begin. Before I open up J Dominant, I actually want to show off the box really quick. I know you can see me on the reflection here. Hi, you know. I really actually like the packaging of him, all right? Like, I kind of like the packaging. Now, I don't remember whose video it was when I was watching their review on this character, but they kind of commented that the artwork looks a little AI generated. Yeah, it kind of looks like it might be AI generated. I don't know. But I mean, at least it looks very pleasing. It does look very eye-catching, and I kind of like it. But it's a little bit kind of unfortunate that the character, like the toy, doesn't really match the art. Yeah, it's really funny. That makes me believe that it might be AI generated because like the artwork doesn't match the character model. At least like the face sculpt doesn't really match the artwork that well, but it's kind of close. Also, I kind of like that it says MoodMode superhero. I don't know, he doesn't really kind of look like a superhero. He kind of looks more like a villain than a superhero. But either way, though, this superhero is actually going to become a supermodel. So let's kind of fix that, all right? Also, I just took him out of the box, and look at this interior. Ooh. So we're going to see if we can make J Dominant into a model in the next section. All right, here's J Dominant, and we're going to go ahead and check out his articulation. So right off the bat, unfortunately, he cannot rotate his head left or right. He can actually tuck his head back, so at least he can look pretty far up. His arms can go all the way around. Unfortunately, he cannot do a T-pose, as this is as far as his arms can go. You can twist his arms, and yes, his forearms are really short. He has elbow bend. He has no hand rotation, nor can you bend his hands. He does have waist rotation, but he can't really bend over or bend over backwards. So you can move his legs back and forth, but here's kind of a problem that I found with him. If you have to move his legs all the way back, as soon as you swing them back forward, it does have a tendency to pop off. I have no idea why this happens. So just kind of a note to self if you do happen to pick up this toy, that his legs do actually pop off. So on the subject about the legs, there is no rotation with them. There's no knee bend, there's no foot to play around with, no ankle tilt. It's really just one big piece of plastic. Also, here's what his legs look like from the back. And yeah, that's basically his articulation. It is very limiting, but I don't really want this to really kind of stop me from taking photos because I do think that he has some potential of becoming a model here. So let's actually see if we can make the superhero into a supermodel. I was kind of curious to see how he would model with tarantulas, because seeing that he's got some potential, right? He's got some potential. I really want to kind of see how he photographs with tarantulas. So, Jay Dominant, would you like to see your best photo with the itsy bitsy spider tarantulas? So, here is your best photo.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Not bad for a $5 toy.
He even models better than Barricade.
Oh, come on. I could have done that.
Still, he's got modeling potential. I actually like it.
So by the way, this photo is actually color corrected. I don't normally do a lot of color correcting on my photos, but I wanted to make his colors kind of pop a little bit in this picture. So just kind of a bit of a note that it looks a little more enhanced compared to the original. Yeah, you know what I like about this picture, Jay? It actually looks better in different orientations. Like, it looks really good at the 90-degree angle, and even better, it even looks better upside down. Yeah, when you flip it upside down, my eye definitely goes right to your face. I think it's mostly because the way how the gun is positioned, it kind of like makes your eye go to your face. Or I guess in some way, when you kind of look at it, like your eye starts at tarantulas and makes its way down to where your face is. But because of how your arm is positioned, it definitely points right to the gun, which again kind of creates this focal point. It even looks better cropped. Like you don't even know what's going to happen next. So Jay, I have to say, you definitely look like a supermodel than a superhero. You definitely are modeling from head to toe in here. I love the fact that you're about to reach out your gun and you're defending yourself with the shield. And you know, it just looks like a model shot. So job well done. I'm very impressed. So the only accessory that Jay Dominant comes with is this, I guess you can say it's like the tank part. Basically, it's kind of like his weapon. Now, the first time around when I played around with this, I actually didn't know that this was actually two pieces. Because the first time I played around with it, I was kind of like thinking to myself, like, how is he supposed to wield this? Yeah, I was like really confused how he was supposed to wield this. Until I looked at the instructions and found out that his gun is actually attached to the top of this thing. So you're actually supposed to take the gun off from the tank hood part. I don't know what you call the part of this on the tank, but you get what I mean. You basically take the gun out from the plate here, and then you can actually attach the plate as a shield, basically, and then equip the gun on the other hand. So in a way, it kind of functions like a shield. And overall, I love the concept of it, but I don't think it's not executed very well. Because even though that I slotted it like a shield, it still doesn't really fit very well. I don't know. I think it might just be because like his forearms are a little too short, or at least it doesn't look like he's going to block anything with it. But that's what it's supposed to do, basically. So basically his main weapon or accessory is actually broken into two pieces, and you can put them back together whenever you need to. And of course, both weapons are interchangeable, so you can slot it on both hands. Now, I did see if you could equip other weapons, starting with Black Dragon swords. And yes, he is capable of equipping swords, so this is what he looks like with the swords. Then I tried with one of the weapons. I think I was using Soundwave's gun for this one. And interestingly, he actually can equip them, but for some reason, they're a little too tight. I don't know, you really have to squeeze them in, but then as soon as you get them in there, it's a little hard to take them out. So I don't know, at least like he can actually equip it, but it's also kind of scary that they could get kind of stuck. So just be kind of careful if you do happen to slot any other weapons into his hands like this. At least with this gun, it looks like it kind of fits him. It kind of suits him a little bit, honestly. Maybe just because it actually kind of like fits his proportions for the arms. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I just kind of feel like the gun just kind of fits really nicely for him. And lastly, I figured I would see if he can equip Novocaine or Freezer. And yeah, apparently he can actually equip Novocaine and Freezer just like this. And yeah, that kind of takes care of our weapon testing with Jay Dominant here. All right, you guys, it's time to turn this guy from robot to tank mode. So, so this is what he is supposed to look like according to the box art. And yes, I already finished transforming him, so we're going to do a quick grand reveal of Jay Dominant's transformation. So, are you ready for this? All right, so 3, 2, 1. Whoa. Oh, wow. Okay, so here he is. Here is Jay Dominant's transformation as a tank. Okay, so it kind of looks just like the picture. I don't know if the color palette kind of matches. I don't think it matches, but it's close though. It definitely is very, very close. I'll show you the directions here in a minute, but it literally is like 6 steps, and it'd be really sad if I cannot transform this. But yeah, here he is. This is our transformation attempt on J Dominant. He definitely looks like a tank. I would say that the only area that I got hung up on, and honestly, I don't know if I understood the instructions, but the sides, as you may notice, they're not really kind of tucked in very well. I don't know for sure if I'm following the directions on it, because I was really kind of confused what the directions were trying to tell me, because again, there's only like 6 steps and the instructions are pretty small, like they're at the bottom of the box. So here's the instructions if you guys want to kind of take a look at them. It's supposedly 6 steps, but I think it's a little misleading. Like there's kind of one step that the instructions don't tell you, and I'll talk a little more about it in the next segment in the critique. But just kind of know that this is how the instructions look. There's no manual inside the box. Like, this is it. This is literally his instructions right on the side of the box. But yeah, I mean, like, J Dominant does look actually pretty nice in his little alt mode here. It's a pretty good size, but I don't know why the textures or the colors, it kind of reminds me of something out of Minecraft. I don't know why. It kind of looks something like out of Minecraft, but yeah, but I do kind of like it though. I do kind of like it. I also do kind of like that you can actually move this thing, like his weapon basically. So this is actually where you put the weapons on top of here. So I do actually kind of like that, and at least you can still rotate it. Now, I don't know what this thing is, this black part that's sticking out. I have no idea what this is, because you can kind of move it and that stuff, and it does actually make a noise when you move, but it doesn't have anything to do with the transformation, and I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be like a turret or a cannon that's supposed to go, like it's supposed to kind of like look like it's part of the transformation, but again, I don't know what is it for. And even on his robot mode, it's basically on the front of his chest. So again, I have no idea what this black part is or what its function's supposed to be, but that's just kind of there. That's just kind of there, right? It's just kind of something extra. Before I forget, so how would I grade J Dominant's transformation? Like, basically it's only 6 steps. But I wasn't sure if I understood the instructions half the time, especially because there is one step that I don't think the instructions tell you. So I would kind of give it a 2 out of 10, but maybe 2.5. 2.5 maybe, I would say, on his difficulty, because it's not like it's super complex or anything. But again, I'll talk a little more about a hidden step it's not written or shown on the instructions. But yeah, that kind of concludes everything I need to say about J Dominant's transformation. So regarding about the transformation section, I had mentioned that there's sort of like a missing step or a hidden step with this transformation. I don't know if you can see this, but do you see like these 2 black pieces up here? In the instructions, you're supposed to like pull the legs down so that you basically make his legs shorter. But what the instructions don't tell you though is that these things are like clips. So you're supposed to like unclip this. Yeah, you're supposed to unclip this so that you can do that. Because otherwise, if this thing is clipped in, like, basically you can still push it in, but you might be kind of wondering why it doesn't go down very smoothly, and it's because this clip thing is still attached. So it might not matter too much, but in case you might be wondering why you can't get his legs to go all the way down, it's because of these things. So yeah, that's the one thing that's not explained on the instructions. And it took me a while to kind of realize that. But yeah, you could actually make his legs much shorter if you really wanted to. So this is what he actually would look like if you decided you want to give him a little bit less length for the legs. I don't know, he actually looks kind of interesting. He does look a little bit interesting like this. And now he actually looks something out of Minecraft now. Seriously, he definitely now looks like something out of Minecraft. I know that, like, when I'm thinking about it, it's like, what is there to say about a $5 toy? You're like, what is there to say about a $5 toy? Like, because really, like, the biggest thing about him is that his articulation is very limiting. If you saw the articulation section, he doesn't really have the greatest articulation, which means his posing ability is going to be very hampered. And obviously, he does not have the best posing ability. Now, when I kind of think about it, because I think I already had commented on this somewhere in the video, but the more that I look at him and just look at the color palette and the way that he kind of moves, he kind of reminds me of something out of Minecraft. I don't want to say that that's like a bad thing, But like the more that I look at it, I just can't unsee it. He definitely kind of looks like he could fit into the world of Minecraft because of just how blocky he is, and he just doesn't really have the greatest range of motion. I could already see it already. Oh man. But yeah, it's funny because I actually kind of like this figure, right? I'm probably gonna be like the only person in the world that actually really likes this toy, even though that like he doesn't have the greatest articulation. He has like this very interesting aura, this sort of charm that makes me actually like him. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if it's just because he's our first purchase at Five Below that makes him more special, or just the fact that he was the last one, the last one to be bought on that shelf, and he was just looking for a home, right? He was just looking for a buddy to adopt him. So yes, welcome home, Mr. J. Mr. J Dominant, you are finally home. So yeah, I mean, like, he actually isn't that bad. I mean, I know some people will definitely hate it, but I don't think he's actually really that bad. Also, I didn't realize that I could do this, and I don't know if this is intentional. If you actually have this toy, you can actually put this on the back of him, like that. And I actually don't know if that's actually part of his design or whatnot, but it actually looks like he's a little more complete, I feel like. It's kind of nice, actually, that you can actually do it right here. You could even do it in the upper hole right here. You could even put it up right up here, too. And that actually looks a little bit better, actually. That looks a little bit better. But yeah, I didn't even know that. I thought that's kind of like a really nice little touch. Again, I don't know if that's intentional, but that is just kind of something that I just discovered when I was playing around with him. So nowhere on the box does it say that he's a combiner? I don't think he's a combiner because there's nowhere on the box, as far as I know. Like, here's the box, right? There's nowhere on the box that says, like, collect them all. So I sort of kind of wonder if he's just like a standalone toy. Because keep in mind, on Five Below's website, there are actually 7 different variations of the Robot Army guy. Although I'm pretty sure the majority of it's all like sold out, or they just don't have it in stock. I don't know if this guy's been discontinued or not, but still, I think that's kind of what makes him more valuable, is that if he's like the last one on the shelf, and in the hands of a good collector, he might actually be kind of valuable to someone. Kind of one more thing I want to add. So I've been kind of wondering, so even though he's like a toy, and I kind of want to know your thoughts, do you ever feel like with some toys, do you think that they are better to be played or displayed? Because I feel like he might be better off being displayed than being played with. It's kind of a bit of a tough kind of thing, because I do kind of like him being in the box, even though he doesn't have the greatest like play value, but I still had a lot of fun doing the photo shoot with him. But I do kind of think that he looks great in his own little display, though. So, I don't know. Have you ever had those thoughts? Have you ever had those thoughts where you had an action figure where you feel like they were better off being displayed than being played with? I'd like to kind of know your thoughts. So normally I kind of close out my videos with a recommendation. I don't know if I would recommend him just because, it's a $5 toy and that stuff. But if you do have a love-hate relationship for these things, especially if you really like Transformer knockoffs, I would definitely give him a chance. I don't know if I plan to collect the other figures, though, because I actually do really like this guy. Pretty much, I don't know if you can find this guy anywhere else. I mean, I'm sure you might possibly find him at Five Below. Otherwise, maybe try eBay. I don't know if there's a listing for him on eBay, but he's just called Robot Army. That's all that it is. Yeah, I think even on the Five Below website, it just says Robot Army. So, alright guys, that wraps up my review with J Dominant here. So we'll go ahead and have him wave goodbye to the camera while we're at it. If you guys like this review, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe to my channel if you're new. And I shall see you guys on the next review, alright? So, have a good night, you guys.